I always think that magazines are considered to be democratic. You know, you don't need any other medium. You don't need a video recorder, software, computer to access them. You get the magazine, immediately you enjoy them anywhere.
I was like, wow, fantastic. I mean, first of all, I wasn't too sure. I thought it was more like a foreign magazine, but obviously owned by, you know, an African person, because it had a lot of African themes to it. And I just thought it was totally different, and like none we've ever seen in Nigeria, which is very different. And the first time I actually saw it was at W.H. Smith.
Now, FAB Magazine is totally redefining the standards as far as publishing is concerned. Very soon, you'll find that a lot of the so-called best magazines, you know, locally, will have to start to follow what FAB is doing. FAB has totally changed what everybody thinks a good magazine is about.
I'm a designer. I've been a designer for 10 years, and I've worked with various publications as a fashion stylist, and I've proposed loads, you know, of changes to be made to, you know, loads of different magazines. Well, apparently they didn't see a lot of what I was talking about at the time, so I felt, yes, you know, it was about time that I went ahead and did it, so they could see what I was, you know, getting at.
FAB comes from fashion design. I come from the journalism, but also fashion photography aspect. My husband comes from the fashion photography aspect as well. And we're all people that have been working in the industry for a while. So we didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, let's start a magazine. We actually had the experience, and that's probably why it made it easier for us to see what was there, what could be built on, and what was missing that we could bring on.
The vision was there. FAB is, as you know, my name, Family Second Babachide. But then the concept, Fabulous African Black, came much later. And it was in the process of grooming, you know, putting together this, trying to develop it, that I met with a gentleman called Shudi, who at the time was actually a photographer at my fashion show in London. And he said, oh, he was so sure his wife would really want to meet me and possibly interview. And of course, at the interview, I was just going on about, yes, how, you know, I want to do this, the FAB magazine, the FAB this, the FAB that, and, you know, where Explanations is going to be in another 5, 10 years, and all of that. And then he told me, Scott, you mentioned FAB magazine, what is that about? I went ahead and briefed her and said, you know what, whenever you're ready to go, I want to be on board.
I think it took me the next 4 months off literally harassing FAB every single day or every single week, emailing him, what's happening, dude? Where's this proposal? Where's this idea that you said you were going to send me? And I think it was between that April 2009 and August 2009, finally he sent me the ideas that he had.
FAB Magazine. FAB Magazine is causing a lot of problems in my household. I mean, in fact, this one I just got from FAB office. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it in a safe. Every time people come to my house, the FAB Magazine's on the dining table, on the coffee table. People are taking it, stealing it because it just looks so good. I mean, it's a sexy magazine. You look through the pages, pure perfection.
Nobody can believe now that back in October 2009, we actually did 6 meetings a day in Lagos. We sometimes kind of did the impossible, or what people think is the impossible, to make sure that we could get 6 meetings a day, all booked, and then we'd come back to the office at 10 o'clock. At the time we were based in Ikoyi, we'll come back to the office at 10 o'clock and we'll plan the next day's meetings with military precision and start making phone calls to confirm the meetings. And that was a hectic whole week of meetings after meetings. Followed by Christmas 2009, I came back. December 2009, I came back again with more meetings. And we launched the magazine in 2010 in Nigeria, 21st of March. And that's how it all came about.
I remember the first time I saw FAB was in 2010. It was around May, April. Terence called me for a photo shoot and I said, what magazine is this? And then he said, FAB. I said, I hadn't heard or seen FAB before, so I walked into the office and then I saw the mag. I was like, oh my God, is this Nigerian? Like, When you see FAB, you think international, you think it's something out of Hollywood.
And a lot of people we were wondering what it was all about. And the first time I saw it, I was impressed and I was proud to be Nigerian because it was very rich, and I held it in my hand and I couldn't believe that it was a product from Nigeria by Nigerians, and I was totally impressed.
What drives FAB and Team FAB, everyone that comes together to put the magazine together, is actually the challenges that we face. You know, the way that Black and African magazines are looked at, the way they aren't taken seriously, the stereotypes that people perceive. You know, that pushes us to sort of break down boundaries and prove them wrong. A lot of the time they don't think a Black magazine can be consistent. They don't think it can be, you know, of a certain standard, high quality. So continuing to prove them wrong definitely fuels us. And also highlighting everything that's good about not just Nigeria, but you know, Black people, African people, because of the perceptions there are.
Like the Yorubas will say, I don't even know how to really transliterate it very properly. From that black pot is where the pure white pulp comes out from. So you can't just like stereotype us as if only the negative thing, only the bad thing comes there.
I know I'm a fine one to speak. I'm white. Originally, I'm from Turkey. But I've been married into the Nigerian culture for about 10 years now. I know the culture like the back of my hand. So it was the idea of the team mostly is made of Africans, Nigerians, non-Nigerian Africans, or even mixed race, Black people, Caribbeans. So we wanted to show the world that you do not need Condé Nast to come to Africa to make Vogue Africa. We have the talent and we have the potential to make it happen and tell our story to the world.